As usual guys, please visit the featured channels linked in the description below. Please subscribe to our channel, every little helps. Thanks guys. This first clip shows a private investigator being threatened with arrest if he doesn't show ID. Unluckily for these cops, this guy knows his rights.
And I am asking you to identify yourself.
Okay.
Okay, and you have to, by law, identify yourself. I need your ID, sir, to verify who you are.
I have to identify myself if you suspect me. Florida, is this a Terry stop? Am I being detained?
You are, right now. Yes, you are.
Under suspicion of what crime, sir?
Loitering and prowling. You're going to give me your driver's license here in a minute, or you're going to go to jail for resisting.
Okay.
I'm being honest with you.
I'm going to give him a license, then I'm going to file an internal affairs complaint on you for violating my Fourth Amendment right. I'm going to give you my Florida investigator's license, which is acceptable to identify myself. Unbelievable. What county is this? Alachua County? Do you all violate citizens' rights all the time? No response to that, deputy? No response to that. I asked for a supervisor.
If you want to sit around and wait for a supervisor, we're more than happy to do that.
Well, you got no problem sitting here detaining me.
Do you want to sit around and wait for a supervisor?
I asked for a supervisor. I'd like for you to call a supervisor. I'm glad you got a smile on your face while you're violating my rights. Unbelievable. I suggest you refresh yourself on the law and what reasonable suspicion is. You go ahead and smile now. I will be filing an internal affairs complaint against you. Not that your corrupt internal affairs will do anything about it. Apparently you boys in blue don't know how to break that line.
Tell Hoffman, 1031 to 69 is 5429. Valid Class A CDL license expires 2021. You need the number?
54. Anyone from the vehicle?
So now you're illegally running me through David. Boys just don't know how to uphold the law.
Public records exemption on tax, right?
Public what?
There's no public
Yeah, but you also know there's
tax.
a state, you have to have a reasonable cause to run my tag through David. That's why that state trooper, that's why the Florida Highway Patrol trooper got sued, right?
Okay, sir, listen. If I ran your emergency contact, look at your emergency contact information.
Just a minute.
That we're not on.
6429 with a valid decal till October 31st.
You know, we got stuff.
May I ask why you're running my tag?
Because you're parked in front of a house you do not live in.
Is that suspicious? Is that suspicious?
It's very suspicious. You don't even live here. You're
in this time and age, right, with terrorists and everything, right? At this time and age.
Okay. You need to move your vehicle out from in front of your house.
Why?
So you need to move your vehicle out from your house.
Okay? So you're saying it's illegal for me to sit there?
Is there even a shoulder? You're parked in the grass. Is there even
it's
a
an
shoulder
easement,
there?
33 feet from the center line. Are you giving me a lawful command?
You can go, or you can wait for the supervisor to come.
I'm going to wait for the supervisor.
Please do. Don't go back in your vehicle.
This guy has done nothing wrong, has produced ID, is not under arrest, but the cop still thinks he can tell him what to do.
Why can't I go back in my vehicle?
Because I'm standing out here and I don't know what's in your vehicle. If you want us to stand here to wait for a supervisor, I'm good with that. But because the way you're acting, I'm not going to let you get back in your vehicle unless you're leaving.
So he can't get back in his vehicle because of officer safety, but he can get back in his vehicle if he leaves? This cop just likes to tell people what to do.
Because I don't know what's in your vehicle.
So can I not stay on the side of the road?
You can get in your vehicle and you can leave.
But I can't get in my vehicle and sit there.
Or you can stand right here and wait for the supervisor because I don't know what's in your vehicle.
Are you going to stay here and wait as well?
I'm going to stand right here and wait with you.
All right. So once again, once the supervisor leaves and you leaves, am I allowed to sit there and stay there? That's a simple yes or no question.
Why are you sitting here?
I am working.
Okay, where are you working?
That's none of your damn business.
Had this much problem.
None of your damn. You know why? Because you don't have people who know how to stand up for their rights and can't stand arrogant, illegal acting cops. That's why. You've came here. You've required me to show ID when I didn't have to. I'm sitting on the side of the road. I haven't broken a law, and you abuse your authority. That gun and that badge doesn't give you abusive rights. I have a Fourth Amendment right guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution that says I am free from illegal search and seizures. There is Florida statute which states in order for me to ID myself, again, listen to me carefully, in order for me to be required to identify myself in the state of Florida, I must A, be under arrest, or B, you must have RAS or PC that I have committed a crime or am about to commit a crime.
Exactly.
You have none of those standards. You have come here and said...
You didn't even listen to me. You didn't listen to what I
right,
said.
then
I
go
tried
ahead.
to explain this very nicely to you, sir.
Suspicion.
I have, and that's all I need.
That-
Reasonable suspicion that a crime is or about or has been committed.
Am I in
not
bizarro
explaining to you?
world, or is this deputy not understanding the English language? Okay, listen to me once again. In order to require me to ID myself, see,
This
you don't want to
conversation's
listen.
going in circles.
No, because you're not
You're standing
listening.
here for the supervisor. I don't particularly want to talk to you anymore. You're free to get in your car and leave.
No,
If you
see,
want to get in your
you're
car,
not
you can
listening.
leave, or you can wait for the supervisor.
What crime do you suspect me of committing or about to?
Now that I've identified you, none.
I tell you what, I'm gonna just go wait up at my vehicle. I don't
Listen to me. Do not go. I do not know what's in
I
your
didn't
vehicle.
say in. I did not say
You're
in.
gonna either wait here or you're gonna leave.
How is he supposed to leave if he's not allowed in his vehicle?
Not going in that near
I
that
said I'm
vehicle.
just gonna go stand
You're
over
not
there.
going near that vehicle. I do not know what's in that vehicle, and the way you're acting right now, I don't trust you. You're gonna either stand here and wait for the supervisor, or you're gonna tell me you're gonna leave, and then we're gonna get in our car and leave.
Am I being detained?
How would you like to? What did I just tell you? You can leave, but then we're leaving. That's the bottom line. If you're going back to the vehicle, we're gonna get
Go
out
ahead
of
and
here.
leave. I'll wait for the supervisor.
She's not coming up here by herself. I can tell you that right now. She's not, and I would not allow her
I'm
to come
such
up
a
here by
scary
herself.
guy. Has this officer explained to you what's happened?
It's my understanding someone called in about your vehicle being parked on private property.
Okay.
All right. And then that you weren't happy with the way they were handling it. And so
Okay.
they called me.
May I ask you, is what I'm doing sitting here, is that a crime?
If this is private property, yes.
Okay. It's public easement, is it not?
Without looking at,
You know what public easement is,
I know what an
correct?
easement is,
Okay. All right. Now, you're a sergeant, so I know you've been
Correct.
on the force for a while.
Correct.
I'm sure, although not semantically accurate with the law, you're probably accurate enough to know how far easement goes off the road. And the fact that someone pulled right off the shoulder is on public easement. I mean, if you would give me that much? Okay.
Okay.
Let's go with this. Let's assume that I'm on public easement. Where I'm parked, is that a crime?
well, let me ask you this. Do you have a purpose for being there?
I do.
What's that?
I don't need one. I will articulate to you why I'm here,
Okay.
but I don't need one. I can be simply parked there for no reason whatsoever. Will we agree that is not a crime?
Well, I'm not going to argue right now, easement or not, okay? I'm saying right now we're here for a reason. Someone called us to come check out your vehicle and what they're doing parked in front of their house.
And that is totally acceptable, and I have no issue with that. I
Okay.
think you're doing your job
Right.
there, and I think that's your job, and I have
Right.
no issue with that.
Okay.
Where I draw the issue is when this deputy over here demanded under the threat of arrest for me to ID myself, when I clearly articulated to this deputy, by the U.S. Constitution, I'm guaranteed a Fourth Amendment right. Not only that, under Florida statute and Florida Constitution, under Florida statute, he must either have RAS or PC that I've either committed a crime or about to commit a crime.
I'm going to stand over here if you don't mind.
Yeah. About to commit a crime before or be under arrest before I am required by law to present an ID.
Hold on just one second.
Because again, he threatened me with arrest. It's all on video, his and mine. I will be filing a PRR to get that video and that audio. He's confirmed to me it's all on audio and video. I have mine. I missed most
Okay.
of it because I wasn't recording it right away.
Okay.
It wasn't until he threatened me with arrest that I'm like, well, I need to turn my camera on. You know, this guy's going to put, and he told me, if you don't get your ID out, I'm going to take you to jail. I'm going to arrest you.
The sergeant looks totally uninterested as she chews her gum.
That's a threat. He's threatened to do bodily harm to me, kidnap me. And I know that may be a funny term, but legally that's what it is when he doesn't have the authority under the color of law to do what he did. And then you know what he tells me? I forgot about this part. He says, I can't be there. He told me to get in my truck and leave. I said, I'm working. I have every right to be there. Then he wouldn't let me go back to my truck. Thinks I'm going to go get a weapon and shoot him.
Okay. Well, that's officer safety.
Well,
which you
no, it's
understand.
not. I'm not being detained. He doesn't expect me to come around.
No, you're not being detained, but anytime, like on a traffic stop, when we approach a vehicle and someone needs to get something out of their vehicle, we walk
Yeah,
with
but
them
it's
just
over
for-
with. He was done with me. He said I couldn't get back in my vehicle until he left. He doesn't have any right.
So when we get here, we don't know who you are. We don't know if the bus stop down here, if you're waiting to kidnap a kid. We don't know that if you're a sex offender and not supposed to be by a bus stop. We don't know all that until we identify you.
But what does the law say about you demanding ID? That's what I'm asking you to say, because that's what this whole issue's over. We're dancing around it with every other thing. I don't disagree with you on anything you said, except the semantical point of demanding ID. I mean, and again, you've yet to answer that. I've told you 3 times what the law says, very succinctly, and you've not yet acknowledged it or denied it. And I would think a deputy of the statute of sergeant would be pretty well versed in what it takes to demand ID under the color of law. U.S. Code 18242, deprivation of rights under the color of law.
This guy is exercising his right to free speech, but this cop believes freedom of speech doesn't apply here.
So you of course absolutely have the right to your freedom of speech, but the display of the dismembered babies and stuff like that, that is not a freedom of speech, and it's
actually it is, sir.
We got to call us on it. So
well, it actually is freedom of speech protected by the Constitution.
No, that's not gonna fly. I'm telling you this right now, it's not gonna fly.
The Constitution protects it, sir.
Not display of dismembered bodies of anything like that. Because you're forcing motorists to see something they don't want to see.
That's freedom of speech, sir.
No, that's not freedom of speech.
Actually, it is.
No, it's not. I'm telling you this right now, it's not. Okay, when we have people calling because you're disturbing their peace, you're disturbing the peace. So
that's the First Amendment, sir.
You can't. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to fly.
It will. Can I speak with your supervisor?
Yeah, I can get him out here. But the display of these dismembered babies is not going to fly.
Yes, I need to speak with your supervisor.
Yeah.
Well, what's your name, officer?
That's Officer Gulino. Yeah.
Gulino.
Yeah.
May I have a card?
Yeah. Card? I don't have business cards.
What's your badge number?
8109 from 122. 109. This guy wants to talk to your supervisor.
Your badge number is 122.
Yeah. I'm gonna have my supervisor come on and talk to you too.
Okay.
So well, the freedom of speech thing is up for debate, but when you're forcing motorists, to observe that, I'm going to stop talking to you as long as you're recording me, okay?
Yes.
I'll continue the conversation with you when you put the phone away.
I'm not going to do that, sir.
Okay.
Because right now you are violating my First Amendment.
Okay, that's fine.
That's why I need to record you.
I'm going to have my supervisor come on and talk to you.
I think I've been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah.
I travel all over the country.
Sure.
You are the first officer who's ever told me that.
Well, you're disturbing the peace when you're forcing motorists to observe your
I have the First Amendment protects my right to disturb people's peace with these signs. Every officer I've ever talked to has never given me a problem over that. They've never said what you said. That's why I'm asking for your supervisor, because respectfully, sir, you don't know the law. I do. I've studied this. That's sad.
What's that?
That's really sad that you would not know the First Amendment or not enforce it. That's really sad.
That's your opinion.
No, I'm just giving you the First Amendment.
Opinion.
The right to speak your mind.
No, I'm not arguing that.
You are.
Okay, but when
you're saying I can't do it.
When you're displaying signs of mutilated bodies for traffic to come, and you're forcing them to look at that while they're stopped at a red light, then that's an issue.
No, not according to the First Amendment, not according to the Constitution. Like I said, you're the first and only officer in 3 years I've been doing this that's ever given me a problem over that. I should tell you something.
I'm not giving you a problem. I'm telling you got a call about your signs.
No, well, that's one thing. Saying that you got a call, that's one thing. To address a call, to answer the call.
And that's what I said before you started recording me.
No. But to tell me that I can't.
Time out. You started recording me about more than halfway through our initial conversation. So everything in this video is going to be way out of context.
I have it on my body cam too.
Absolutely way out of context.
I have it on my body cam too.
Okay.
Well, I do that because I never know if an officer is going to give me a hard time or violate my First Amendment right, my constitutional rights.
I'm not violating your rights.
You're telling me I can't do this.
Listen, I'm explaining to you what's going on.
An officer finally arrives who knows the law and our rights.
it's unregulated babies and stuff like that.
Right.
So I said it's freedom of speech.
Yeah, it is a freedom of speech, right? He can't, you really can't stop him from doing it. No, he has a First Amendment right.
Here's the supervisor.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't stop him. First Amendment. We had this type of stuff before back on 25th. You can't really stop him from holding his First Amendment right at all.
This officer is telling me I cannot have these signs out here, which violates my First Amendment rights. So I asked for a supervisor who would correct him.
Okay, I'm the supervisor.
Yes, sir.
You're allowed to have signs out here.
Yes.
Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. And please don't forget to subscribe and also visit the featured channels via the links in the description.